So much of the attention of Parshat Shlach is focused on the launching and reporting of the Meraglim, the infamous moment that altered the course of Jewish history and birthed the saddest date on our calendar, Tisha B'Av. I want to explore a short and sometimes glossed over part of the Parsha found immediately after Hashem describes the national punishment and consequences for the Chet HaMeraglim. I want to examine for a moment the actions of the Ma'apilim, the defiant ones. The Ma'apilim, those that regretted the decree of wandering for 40 years, arise the very morning after the devastating report and decree of death for all men over the age of 20, with perhaps a sincere desire for closeness to Hashem. The tactic of the Ma'apilim deserves note, in that it is one of the few exceptions in the Torah that seemingly denies a second chance to fix an unfortunate situation. The Torah is replete with second chances of do-overs and second opportunities. Tshuva, kapara, tahara, pesach sheni, tashlumim, just to name a few. We're given many biblical and rabbinic opportunities to make amends and have a second chance. But by the Ma'apilim, a second chance, a do-over, was explicitly not an option. Why? They showed remorse. They wanted to accomplish the national goal, the Ratzon Hashem, and to get to the finish line to reach our homeland. They admitted their errors and proclaimed their renewed faith to go to the promised land. So why did their mission fail? Why were they punished? I would like to explore three different approaches. I think all contain lessons that echoes with relevance today. The Barbanel, Ibn Ezra, amongst others, negate my question altogether. They suggest that there was not a do-over at all. As Rav Avigdor Nebenzahl explains so perfectly, this was not Tshuva Gemura. The Chet of the Meraglim was a complete lack of obedience of Hashem's instructions, and the Ma'apilim repeated that identical sin. Moshe said that Hashem said that they shouldn't go up, and they went up. So it was not a Tshuva Gemura, it was not a do-over. A second approach falls under the category of Mu'uvat lo yechol litkon, that there are situations that cannot be repaired. Individuals who have a life understanding, a matured understanding of life, know that while there is in life many moments that can be repeated and recalibrated, there are some moments that can never be quite repaired. This is especially true for relationships. Once you say something, it can never be unsaid. The way you react initially to gestures, gifts, presents give off emotive signals. Your immediate reactions are expressions of your desire, of your true ratzon, of your true feelings. And these reactions frame future interactions and the base of said relationship. Over time, you might be able to repair your actions and reactions, but you cannot quite erase that first impression of hurt and pain. This is especially true if your ratzon, your will, and wants are out of line or out of sync with your partners. This was the greatness of the Ma'apilim's approach. The nation already showed HaKadosh Baruch Hu what they really felt about Eretz Yisrael. The damage was already done. And really, there could not be a blank new slate to start over again. A third and very different approach shakes up our entire understanding of the Ma'apilim. Tzadok HaKohen in Sikos HaTzadik, I think it's Ot Mem Vav, suggests a radical chiddush focusing on the last three words of the following pasuk. Vayomer Moshe lama ze atem ovrim et pi Hashem v'hi lo titzlach. For Rabbi Tzadok suggests that the words v'hi lo titzlach means that this type of quick tshuva effort, this movement to repair this broken moment will not succeed at this time, v'hi lo titzlach, but comments that at another attempt in the future, these types of efforts would or could succeed. He builds his argument out of the famous statement at the end of Sota describing the days preceding Mashiach, in the period which will precede the coming of Mashiach, insolence, chutzpah, will increase. Rabbi Tzadok views chutzpah as being potentially positive. Writing in the 1860s, almost 150 years ago, he comments, V'hi lo titzlach, what but, sheish zman acher shematzliach, v'hu zmanenu, shel ikvei Mashiach. There's another time. That time the Ma'apilim would fail. But in the future, that chutzpah, that action of the Ma'apilim will be accepted. And this is our time, which is the ikvei Mashiach. Over a century ago, before millions of Jews started the miraculous return homeland, before Herzl and Balfour, the still small winds, the cold mamad daka of Mashiach, were being felt in Lublin, Poland. Reb Tzadok gently implores us that to bring Mashiach, our nation has to have a certain kind of chutzpah, to be a chacham adif ben avi, to have chutzpah to propel ourselves forward, the chutzpah to advance our miracles, the chutzpah to pick up and perform Ratzon Hashem, even if it means to buck the system. One fascinating point to take this idea further is to consider that in the very first edition of Reb Tzadok Cohen's commentary, this very Perush, Ot Mem Vav, was left out for fear of Rabbi Tzadok looking too Zionistic, according to Rabbi Wein. What reverse chutzpah, and how ironic. Instead of publicizing this call to action, we suppressed our actions and ideas because we were meek. Rabbosai, to not properly consider the opportunity in front of us is to fall prey to the very ideas of the Meraglim and the Ma'apilim. Shall we not actively ponder Ratzon Hashem? I'm often asked to weigh in on the famous debate of Yisha Haaretz being D'Oraisa or D'Rabbanan, and I frequently respond, what difference does it really make? Is it Ratzon Hashem? Can you deny that Hashem doesn't want his people in his land? And if so, what pain Kivyachol do we cause Hashem by not receiving that gift with open arms? We must undergo a spiritual realignment. We need to get our Ratzon in line, in sync with Hashem's, and be aware and cognizant of these miraculous times. It's not whether it's the Chatchila or B'di'eved, or Raisa or D'Rabbanan. It's a clear conceptual focus on the mission of the Jewish people to bring us closer to achieving the ultimate closeness.